What's up, everyone? It's MTG Flux. I got another draft for us today for Edge of Eternities at my local LGS. This set, it's pretty good. The complexity of it is fun to explore. I've been drafting a lot of red in this set lately. Just seems like the fun thing to do. But the chatter at the table, one of the guys was throwing out threats of draft, like, for people not to draft green so he can draft green. And then, so I was hedged to already want to take good green cards. And then I've been wanting to get out of the, is it space of just red-blue stuff or red-black stuff. So I opted to take the Galactic Wick first. I could have had a really pretty solid black deck with how open black was going around, because I would have took the rare here, get some card advantage, and it was in consideration. But the moment he started talking about more, like, don't cut me off in green, blah, 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 like, I can't help myself to be reckless and against the grain. So pretty good comeback trick there. I didn't end up getting one of those, but I knew that it probably wouldn't have been taken so highly, so maybe the wheel will happen. Kind of waffling on what I thought I should do, but ultimately just going to cut that guy off. It was a weird draft pod. It was a pot of 8, which was great. And of course I get tempted by green or red again. But this Brood Guard Elite's really, really good too. I don't remember what I take, either the Bombard or the Elite. And there's another black rare there, and that just brings things back as skeletons, just their bodies, no text type thing. So I knew I'm passing a pretty solid black deck. So I probably could have hooked it. I think my spot was in green-black, but I ended up taking more teamer cards. I did cut a couple black. This deck ended up being 4-color, no white, which worked out really well, especially first picking Wayfarer and looking for lander token capabilities. And that's what my plan at this point was. Really good red removal there. Also, that Mechan making 2/2s everywhere. Orbital Plunge is great. This was a really good pack. I had to I had some things to consider for sure, but ultimately I think I took the efficient removal. A lot of people were kind of waffling around colors, I think, for a little while. That's why multiple things seemed open. I will say that I think that the most of the people at the table were more so newer to draft or don't always draft. So I kept that in mind while I was kind of just rolling through and not how does this card wheel? It's not usually my attitude at the table. I just kind of take it as signs and carry on. So here we're getting a little bit more black cards. I like the galvanizing spacecraft. Just seems like a really good thing to do. That 5/5 warp also seems good if I'm really wanting to commit more to green. And it being the only real green card in there. Oh, it wasn't. It was the X equals less to the type of lands. But I think I took the Pangolin here, thinking that lander tokens was going to give me benefit for or the Starship. I don't remember. But The pangolin, I did end up getting a pangolin, and it's just good with the lander tokens, even if you're not really deep into the artifact synergy. Seems good. And this card is kind of like when I realized, like, I really probably should be in green-black, but there are colors that I just ignore, or signs I just ignore sometimes, you know? I was like, well, I come here to try to do this thing, and let's do it. Sammy's Curiosity is so good in this deck, though. Kind of just, I'm looking to do the ramp thing, put the big idiots in play, and move on. This deck ended up having quite a bit of life gain, which was really nice. There's a lot of games where we're just gumming up the board, and it's just the right thing to do. Or I mean, like, I was thankful to have all that life gain to kind of keep the game going. Good payoff for ramp with that big old blue card. This time I knew how much black I was passing, so the Monoist seemed like a good pick, and I really wasn't interested. I mean, if I was drafting just for me, I probably should have just took the command station or whatever, the land, because I knew that, like, there's very capabilities that I was going to be multiple colors, especially when I not really realizing what other color I wanted to be. The first Melted Moxite is really good here, just because these kinds of decks kind of like run out of gas sometimes, and getting card advantage just to kind of keep the deck moving seemed really good at the time. I was less interested in the second Moxite, but since I picked up that big 6/6 War 2, considering that I needed to make more responsible decisions there, like, and just picking up that double spell card, which could have been good, but I do not think I ended up playing it. I got that land. Ended up being my only non-basic land that I got in this deck, which is kind of a reoccurring theme with this set, as the fixing is not great because it's usually in like the rare slot or the special guest slot, which the cards are great in there, getting shock lands and man lands and stuff like that. But outside of that, you're not really getting much of... ooh, this is late. This is kind of a gift. That card kind of won me a couple games on this draft too. So I'm feeling fine. I'm kind of sticking to my rules to where just take good cards. Just take good cards. Don't commit to anything too early, even though I mentioned that I have a slight hedge towards taking green. But I'm still happy with first pick Wayfarer. The card's just really good. 3/3, good body, makes a lander. So I'm thinking Teamer at this point. But also Jund could be an option too. When I was deck building, it was a little difficult just because I had some black cards that I wanted to play, and I did end up playing a couple black cards. But it was more so just trying to stay consistent, so I cut my splashes down a little bit and really stuck with Gruul. And then I get a kind of a gift and payoff for ramp here with the Battleship. It is a semi-board wipe, but like the plan is to get bigger creatures than what the board wipe looks for. And Orbital Plunge is nice in this spot. Needed more interaction. Interaction is kind of what kept me going. Tractor Beam, it's hard to evaluate that card. I imagine, like, if I'm playing, like, a mirror match with other people playing Big Idiots, it's going to be, like, really good. But the Survey Mechan is also a nice pickup, too. Kind of does what my deck wants to do, is just go big, and then it provides a nice effective card advantage and even damage, and 1/3 body's okay. Not on a 4-drop, but just board to board. So was happy with that consideration. I think I had some missed opportunities taking that little trampler. I'm not taking that little green trampler over the elite, but I think if I'm going big and doing landfall kind of things and just trying to stay big, I think it could have got me a win or two. Especially if everyone's just gumming up the board and just trying to advance what they're trying to do. I think there were some capabilities there. I'm not a big fan of combat tricks. I know how good and effective they can be in Limited. It's kind of my weakness is that I just dislike them so much. It's a very big disruption to the gameplay, and it's just the thing. It's probably against popular belief, but I definitely just don't like how it plays out. The Might's great, especially with those elites. If I can put the counters on this, and then I'm just pumping other creatures for 3 or 4, feels really good. Shattered Wings is okay. Thawbringer is just a good body. Considering the more card advantage, I'm not really looking to sack my things, so I guess there's some sacking of lander tokens, but honestly, the God Maw is just the pick there. It's just that card actually was my MVP in all these games. This was a fun draft. I ended up going 2-1. Won my first 2 games, and I lost to a real solid. We're taking the 2-3 here. Gain a life, landfall, just something early to get on the board. But a really good Selesnya deck is kind of what I lost to in the boss game. So kind of feels bad, and he even misplayed a lot too, but I just flooded out really hard, and that's just part of the game. Sometimes variance will get you. Grab Kill is also appealing here, but the Resolve first copy of this is good, especially with all my Big Idiots. Wayfarer's premium for me. Pain for All, there is a consideration for that card too. But I just didn't have quite enough enablers for it. This pack was just really good for me, though. Wayfarer, you can't ignore it. The card's just too good. If I'm playing anything green or landfalls or just Big Idiots, that's the card that I want to get there. It's just a good body. We actually have gameplay at the second segment of this video, so that's going to be fun to really look at, and it was actually a buddy of mine that I matched up first, and he's been wanting, hey, if we play, let's record it, and I don't really ask people to record the games here. I think it's rude, especially if there's newer players around. I'm not trying to pressure them. We're just there to have a good time and crush each other when we can. So, but my buddy was insistent. I was oh yeah, let's. I would love to, but if everyone's cool, I'm cool. A lot of blue cards flowing late. There was not a lot of blue at the table, but I've only seen a couple cards that really wants me to be in blue. So, like, reasons to be in blue probably was that I think it was a 4/4 mechan that makes a 2/2 every artifact that hits the battlefield. Tractor beam late, nice consideration. I just think that in mirror matches it would be really good. Took it the Shattered Wings for the sideboard option instead of the 4/2. Because I felt like I was being fine on playables, considering that I had a very high capability of being in multiple colors, because I had 2 of the Wayfarers, the Bombard, the Sammy's Curiosity. The big spacecraft. The Memnon, like, it probably could have been fine in my deck. It just would have been too slow for what I was trying to do. Orbital Plunge is premium in this kind of deck. The 2/2 is also really good. So I have some options here. A little white rare and a Cosmic Oif. So I ended up taking the Cosmic Oif. I couldn't remember if it had a decent price on it, especially in foil. So I ended up taking for the money, but like all in all, this was a good pack for me. I think the right pick would have been another Orbital Plunge. I'm just not putting cards into exile very much. I do have the Warp Creature, like at this point 3 Warp Creatures with the 2 Elites and then the 5/5 gain 2 life. Plasma Bolt's great. The Mechan's also nice. Getting ramping and doing that thing is nice. Close Encounter's really, really good. I think I took the Brood Tender, considering that... Oh, no, I didn't. I took this. This was passed to me, and I said, like, well, this is kind of dumb in my deck. That just does all the things that I want to do. Making a bunch of copies of the big 6/6 Trampler was a game plan, and it won me a couple games, so to where it was real nice. Mechan's good. Like that Team Leader. I took this. I think it's the wrong pick. I don't think the card's particularly good, but I was also kind of thinking potential Jund stuff, putting stuff in the graveyard. I think I took the 5/5 gain 2 life here. And then the Survey Mechan's really, really good. Or maybe I took that. Which I never even seen the Survey Mechan in any of my games. There were games that it could have been really, really good where we're just trying to build up, doing our things, and getting that burst of card advantage would have been really helpful. So, yeah, there was a lot of Orbital Plunges going around. I think I could have ended up having like 6 of them total. Grav Kill's a consideration. I like the Landfall guy, kind of in my teamer colors. I knew I'm at least Gruul. But something early to keep me alive is much so a priority at this point. I had my buddy that I played first round here, but the rest of the crew that I usually come in, they weren't really in today. So it was kind of a bummer, but luckily I got some good games with my buddy. And then, but yeah. It was good. Full Bore is a pretty decent combat trick, but I'm looking for some quality interaction and cheap. because I know the orbital plunges are quite expensive too. So when I say I was probably waffling between like the actual archetypes, it was more so like artifacts. Like, how many artifacts can I produce, And every board that I ended up producing just had a medium amount, not enough to like really pop off or kind of lean into an archetype. So, I mean, you're going to get that when you're kind of drafting multiple colors anyways. I think I took the Faithful here just for potential card advantage, but I ended up siding it out a lot because I was just not interested in destroying any of my creatures. Like, all my creatures get me to my better creatures or just good creatures on its own. The Brood Tender kind of still had me in that Jund consideration, and I was not scared to play 4 colors at this point. I was just like, if I play some blue, the only thing that kind of got in my way with some of the options was like the double pip cards, and because I only had planned on playing 1 island at this point and a couple swamps, and really relying on my landers to get me there, and it worked out. If anything, the only mana problem games I had at all this night was just itself flooding. So like, it was kind of the opposite issue. Like, just talking about orbital plunge, like some decks just like that extra value with that just want it, and this deck is just hungry for it. I probably could have played 2 more. It was just a card that I was always looking for. And here we have our gameplay with our buddy. Yeah, my buddy works at the store itself, and here's my deck list. We kind of came down to, but yeah, he works at the store too. He's a young guy, yeah, but he's been really wanting to get a film game in, like, with me on this, which, like I said earlier, I'm always down for, but I don't want to intrude on everyone else's, fun and doing all that stuff. But he's been getting into Gundam, so at the beginning there, he was showing off like some of the cards that he has on the Gundam card game. So yeah, but here we are. I think I pitched this first, and I think it was a 1-lander. If I would have got the second land and I just showed that, it would have ended up being fine. But I already knew that he had a controlling kind of deck, knowing that he was in black-blue. So it's like, no, I don't want to miss a step, and then I'm just going to be locked out for the whole game. So my deck actually wants lands in a bad way. So checking out a new 7 here. Yeah, the gameplay of this set is fun. It really is. It's just, I think more so I was just disappointed in like the flavor of it all. And so it was like, I'm just not a big on the space stuff. But that being said, I love the Final Fantasy, and I know a lot of people that were not Final Fantasy heads like I was, so it's just like, it's all right. Feels fine. I played the 1/1 when it taps. It gets +X equal to its power to target creature. Then I end up playing that 0/4 landfall +2/+0 creature. So, yeah, it's the hand actually seemed fine. It's just, it was a good curve out hand, and my opponent, he stumbled a couple times. Like here, he just plays the relic Oh, no, he plays the 2-1. This is actually a good play for him. It's kind of, he leaned into the rummaging on this 2-1. When it becomes tap, you rummage. And then, so he was trying to find a real answer from me curving out. So it wasn't too bad, though. So just took the landfall trigger and just getting some easy damage. I feel like with my hand I'm going to win a curve out. And I play the good old pup, the Chrome Companion, I think it is. Which I gained a lot of life off that card between all my games. So it wasn't nothing. My deck had sneaky good life gain in it, with that 5/5 warp that gains 2 life, and then the pup, and then the 2/3 landfall gain a life. So feeling fine. I'm willing to take some damage here, just knowing, like I said, how I'm curving out. My buddy, he wasn't very happy with what he turned out. He was even saying, like, I've been playing too much Gundam lately. I haven't had my practice with Magic lately, so I feel like this is a new game all over again. Which I get when you're playing a different card game. That's just how it's going to be. So he Thoughtseize me, I think, here. Yeah, he did the little Thoughtseize spell, but so I have my Mythic token copier in my hand, so, I mean, he's already behind on board. Like, I don't blame him for just getting rid of that and leaving the removal. And I just held on to this removal. Like you play anything, like I am blowing it up. So I'll just take Time Warp for 4 on that case. So getting some pumping in, especially when he went shields down with, I know he's just like willing to take damage to get cards and try to get something going, but I'm getting just easy damage in. Like, this is, got him down to 13 at this point, so it doesn't feel bad at all. And then that's the 5/5 with gain 2 life, I think. No, that's the 3/3. Whenever it blocks a creature with flying, you get +5/+0. Board feels good. He has to play something to get around my 3/3, so the attacks are not great anymore. Yeah, so he plays a relic here, and I just know, like, that's game at this point, just because if he's spending mana just to try to get cards and, like, not affecting the board in any meaningful way, like, I'm just feeling good. Like all right, I get another turn of just going nuts. I mean, that was a 1, 2, 2, 3 curve out, so I'm just on the board, and that's where I want to be. He warps in the 4/5 that gets +2/+0. Whenever it dies, it comes back tapped, I believe. And he's going to try to get in for 4 here, but also doing so is going to leave shields down. And this next turn, I'm getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage through. I'm putting him down to 4 as the board lays right here. hitting my fourth land just feels good. That's extra. Just like got it in the bag. And don't even know why I was considering the orbital plunge. Like, I'm not, at this point, I'm not getting blown out. Like, I just need to take care of any more obtrusive threat that hits the battlefield. Yeah, just cashing out, just orbital plunge, get a lander, get rid of the 2/3 lifelink that he had. But he ends up, so he left 2 mana up with intention of stunning one of my creatures, but nothing was tapped, and because I entered my own tap stage. So after he said that, I'm like, well, let's just rewind, and I'll let you put your stun counter where you wanted to put it. It is a casual event. Like, I don't mind running things back if there's misplays or stuff like that. It's not that serious in that regard. So this is me running it back, going to his end step, and then he's going to crack this and stun my guy. And then we'll go back. I'm going to do the same play, just orbital plunge for the win. Can't forget my 1 life gained. That's what she wrote. For this particular deck, like, things I would have wished I would have had is the 1/2 for 1 green. It's the tap another artifact or creature for a mana. Like, I think this deck could have had some wild turn 3 or 4 turns just by a little curve out and just getting some big baddies on the board early. Because my top end was the 6/6 Ward 2, gives everything -3, -0. I had the big counter elite. I think the Broodguard elites. I had 2 of them, and then I also had the 6/6 Trampler that has landfall. It gives everything haste and vigilance and +1/+1 on your side for every landfall trigger. And so there's a lot of things to believe in on this deck, and it's just going big and bad. But I think having those a little bit more ramp and efficient ramp outside of spending turns to spend lander tokens. The lander tokens are nice, like when I have some of the gaining the lives, the triggers on the 6/6 Tramplers. Missed my 1 drop. Feels bad. You gotta play the pup here? Yep. The good old boy. I think I probably should have blocked. Just because he just gets card advantage here, but I think I'm thinking more of the racing value and just making sure I can, because I can, gaining the life especially feels good, and I know he's on double blue, so understanding he may not even be on black yet, so maybe cutting him off on part of his hand. I rock the Kamigawa lands as my draft kit, and it's about every single time I draft I get compliments on them. The lands are just so nice. They're like, how do you even get them? I'm like, well, I drafted these. That's how much I drafted Kamigawa. There were certain Kamigawa Neon Dynasty drafts that I would just take lands over like playable cards, just because like I was obsessed over them at the time. So yeah, I warped in the elite to move those counters on my pup, so it's making it an actual, like, a real ticking threat. And he missed a land drop here, but he was able to... Oh, yeah, he just played the tap draw card. But when it does tap, I gain that life. So I'm like, oh, well, you get to save 4 damage, but I get to gain my life. I also would have liked more command stations. I think I passed 2 of them, but I think they were like for quality stuff. One was really early in my second pack, I believe, and then the other one, I think I probably was an opportunity to take it. I just opted not to. Hit black on his side, so understanding he's probably opening up to do more things here. And then Virus Beetle doesn't feel that bad. I think that was my last land in my hand, but I think the curving seems fine. No, I think I actually still had a land in my hand. I think that was an easy option. I think I have 2 cards in hand now. Yeah, and sitting on 3 after draw. Mounted Moxite doing its job here, pitching lands, getting more cards. Came up a lot that for 3 sack it and make a 2/2. Just like when I'm on turns that I'm just ramping, trying to keep the line moving type thing. Yeah, I played a was that Sam? Yeah, I played a Sammy's Curiosity. Just cracked it right away. I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on some big ones in my hand. I don't think I get to... Yeah, I didn't get to do the token making mythic this round, but the other 2 games I did, or in the other 2 matches, I mean. So, feeling really safe right now, because I also have the Elite Brood Guard and the Warp. I did choose to siphon to get through cards, get more cards, and ramp instead of play that. Understanding that it's going to be equally as good, if not better, later than it is now. So he did the shatter or whatever it is, the -5, -0. If it takes damage or taps, it's destroyed. Orbital Plunge for the win again. No. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, he played the 2-1 flyer for 3 that when it dies, make it 2-2. And I think I cracked a lander token there. Just setting up for a big turn. I'm not getting on the board as quickly as I'd like to. Luckily, I'm playing against a control deck. So the feels bad is less bad in that regard. He plays the stun. He plays the 3/4 sack a artifact and put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and draw a card. Which is fine, but he doesn't. I'm sure he rather have done that to his flyer instead, considering. So I felt good about that Orbital Plunge, which is a feel bad when you're doing it to a 2/1 flyer. But knowing this play now, it's nice. It looks like he's thought seizing me, taking my 6/6 and leaving the Starship in my hand for 8 mana. So I'm a mana away from just crushing that down. But this is... Oh, I think I just drew the red mythic. So from here... Yep. Bringing back the elite, making him into a 5/5. Yeah, so the mythic token maker isn't really good in this spot right now, just considering. I mean, I can make a bunch of pops, but he's still pretty healthy on life. I'd like to get that spacecraft down, just because my creatures aren't quite doing much at this point. But this turn gets... But I have the 5/5 out, so I can crew it immediately, if that's what I'd like to do. Yeah, he's warping out that I think a 4/4 that puts taps and stun counters a creature, which kind of does mess with that plan. This was a mistake big time, because I'm planning on playing the Starship, so I play the 2/3 gain of life landfall guy. I should have just held on to it, because that's not what I was trying to do, because that Starship is a board wipe. Deals 4 damage to everything. And it doesn't even wipe his board, because he has a 4/5 in play. So it was a little bit more of an ambitious play, because I think I rip a land off the top here. Just keeping the big chunky guy down. Getting in there. Instead, I make my 2/2, which also wasn't a good play. So destroying, I think it's a 5/5. Yeah, it's a 5/5 artifact. That keeps the thing stunned. But destroyed that. Basically, more realistically, wiped to my board. But I'm pretty sure he was down to one or two cards in hand. So I'm just like, well, if he doesn't have removal, like I'm about to beat his face in with a spacecraft. So it definitely wasn't played the way that I should have in that regard, because I was playing to the board a little too hard with intentions of wiping. So at this point, just feeling good if I get the opportunity to untap. I know he's going to get in for another hit here. At first, I thought it was the 4-mana put target creature or artifact on top of your library or bottom of the library, opponent's choice. But this ended up being it's kind of bad for me in this spot, as he gets an artifact back from his graveyard, and he gets to tutor an artifact, basically. Luckily, what he got from his deck wasn't very good. Yeah, he just got a relic to get more card advantage. So big turn here for me. Yeah, he's getting in damage, but I'm just like, well, let's crew this 10/10 flyer with Flample, and let's go to town. I think that's the 3/3 with that blocking. And this is before attacks, I believe. Yeah, so I ran this one back, because instead of crewing and attacking with that big guy, I made 2 copies of the 3/3 reach, and to get him for 6 more damage. I just knew that he had a relic in play. He's going to want to stun something down so that the spacecraft is just out for a turn. And then he has another relic. He could always just keep it stunned down. But granted, my 5/5 to his 4/5 is looking pretty good. So I'm going to be wanting to get in. Like, he is at 2 at this point. Draw a card, stun a guy, off the relic. Looks like he peeled a land. Still feeling pretty good about this spot. I think I'm at 11 at this point. I mean, he's in a pretty tough spot. Yeah, let me know what you all think about the gameplay. You know, it's not something I presume that I'm going to be doing all the time. Like I said, I just want to accommodate everyone else that I play with, you know, and their personal space and stuff like that. And normally people get a little weird when it comes to being filmed and stuff like that. Anyway, so but let me know what you think, so because I can always hedge towards trying to do more in that case. So yeah. So so he made an aggressive play here. So he -3 on that guy and chumps the 5/5, right? And then he has 2 mana up. I was fully anticipating him trying to gain life. He puts 3 my way, which I think was the right play, because if he's relying on what's on top of his deck, but he has nothing on the board. So yeah, he's gonna ping me for 3 instead of gaining 3 here. So I think I'm at 8 or 7 or 8, but yeah, no stun counter on the spacecraft. I just gotta fade another turn, and then I'm there, because he has 2 big things he has to deal with here. So yep, he stuns down the big old guy, just putting off of what's inevitably to come, but he's, still putting up a chip and fight. I think I rip a spell off the top here. I think that's the 2/3 lifelink. Yeah, here's the 04 landfall guy. So yeah, he chumps there. It wasn't the 2/3 lifelink guy, because it was a chump. Maybe the 4/5. Missed when he tapped, but either way, quite irrelevant once I'm just beating in with the 5/5. This is that rare 2-drop spell that can be like Treasure Cruise, basically. If it's cast for 4, then then he gets to pick 2 cards from it. I'm just reading where the cards go on the bottom, or where it goes after the other ones that he looked at. So yeah, he's sitting on 6 mana here. So this game wasn't very exciting. Like, it was just like chump, attack, damage. Like, there's no complexity to it. I did play poorly when it came to how I played the Starship. However, wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, so he even said he potentially had the win here, because he had that 4 mana enchantment that takes control of target creature, but he concedes after that. Nothing to block with. But that's it. If you liked the video, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, but we'll see y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all.